Alrighty. Hopefully this microphone's working. I've just popped on to do a meditation, 20 minutes, maybe not even 15. Is there a way to test this microphone? No, I think it's good. I think it's good. Alright, we'll just run with it. If it's not working, it ain't working. Just to center ourselves, so moving from fight or flight to a more restorative, rested state. Taking our vision from staring at our screens and being fixated to a broader field of vision. We can do a little exercise. We take our two fingers here and we just start narrow to get fingers together, and we just move the fingers apart. Now I'm not looking at the fingers, but I'm keeping the fingers in my awareness, so they're in my periphery. Just not straining or trying, but just having a sense of the fingers being in the peripheral vision. I can do that a couple of times, starting small or starting fingers close together. And just having a sense of broadening the vision. Now, can I do it without the fingers? Can I have a sense of just broadening my vision without using the fingers? And you may be indoors, you might not have a view, but I can see trees kind of blowing in the wind outside my window there. I have a sense of there being sort of wooden furniture down below and bits and pieces in the room. Searching for anything, I'm not looking specifically at things, but I'm just allowing all of that to show over me. So with a soft gaze, if I need to blink, I can blink. If I need to rest my eyes, I can close my eyes. It's not meant to be difficult or challenging. It's an invitation just to soften our gaze. And in that softening, the whole body gets to go into that softer state where we're not doing stuff on our phones, doing stuff, concentration. Our eyes are involved in all of those processes. So if our eyes get to relax, you'll hopefully find that the whole body is feeling more and more inclined to relax and settle. Ideally, it would be lovely to have a nice broad view, a nice big horizon. Quite often in cities, built up areas, you don't get that panoramic view, so we can maybe lay on our backs and look up at the sky, but just this is a lovely little process just to come back to yourself, allowing the eyes just to look without looking. It's like the vision is coming to you rather than you're seeking out something in the field of view. And then maybe just closing our eyes and just seeing how the body feels. Another thing we can do to come back to ourselves is just to give the tummy a little squeeze. So it's bringing our attention into our center. So we're just going to squeeze the tummy muscles. Maybe have a sense of pulling up through the pelvic floor. And just give it. Doesn't have to be a strong squeeze, but just see what you want to do. And then we can just let that go and release. You'll feel nice, the blood kind of whooshing in there as you release. And then again, see what that does for your body. You might just feel that, oh, my body's down regulating. It quite likes that for whatever reason. We can do it a second time. I like to think of like putting a foot on the accelerator where we're just doing it very gradually. We can go as fast as we like, I guess, but we want to build up slow. So when we're squeezing, we start slow, see what's going on. So squeezing, pulling the tummy in, pulling up, as if we're shrink wrapping the spine. Giving ourselves a hug, I guess, a little corset. And then that release and that letting go and that nice whooshing, warm feeling as we let go, make space. And now we know what we're doing. Maybe on the third round we can squeeze a little bit harder, but we're still going slow. So squeezing the tummy, start gently, build it up, Squeezing, pulling in, pulling up, squeezing, pulling in, pulling up, holding. And then that releases maybe where we take it naturally now and let everything expand. Closing our eyes and just seeing what that's perhaps changed. I guess you could be lying down if that feels more supportive to you. I've been doing a lot of my meditations just sitting on a chair lately. And I do like that lying down, feeling supported by the earth. And another little exercise, again, working with our focus and what our eyes are doing. We bring our finger a few inches, I guess, I don't know what that is, maybe 12 inches away from our eyes where we can focus in and we can see the detail of the fingernail and the lines and marks on the fingerprint, I guess. So we're going to focus on the finger and then we're going to pick something in the far distance. So if you're in a room and maybe just on the far wall, you can pick a little scratch or a mark on the wall or something, or a pattern. And then we're just going to focus on our finger, see the detail, see the pattern in our finger, and then we're going to switch to the far object and we're going to focus and see the detail. And then we're going to switch back to our finger and back to the object. So we're just going at your own pace, switching from one to the other. You might want to do quite fast movements, flicker from one to the other. You might want to spend a little longer time pausing on each object. Give yourself enough time to really see your finger, the detail of your finger. Be surprised by it. And the details in the object that you're looking at, the colors and the patterns. The way the light shines on it. And then bring your hand down and just dropping back into that meditation space again. Invitation to close your eyes if that feels okay. Might not always. And opening our eyes once more. Another thing we can do to gently regulate the body is to use vagal breathing. It's an auditory breath where we make a sound on the exhale. So it could be like a sigh. It could be a humming. Doesn't matter too much, whatever you're comfortable with. But if I take a big inhale, and then just a pleasant sigh, exhale. It's kind of what we're trying to achieve. So the inhale. Sometimes you'll trigger a yawn. I'll do that a couple of times and I'll feel like a real yawn coming on. So it's kind of fake it till you make it, I guess. But just see how it feels in your body. Do that 3 or 4 times. Fairly deep inhale. You might find that yawning with opening of the mouth might be a nice sensation as well of relaxing. A lot of us carry that tension, that fight flight tension in our jaw, don't we? A lot of people grind their teeth. Let's do one more. I can feel that yawning coming on. I can feel my eyes going a bit glossy. That's indicative of that sort of winding down. So let's do one more. Inhaling, breathing through the nose. Well, exhales out through the mouth. And then maybe closing our eyes and dropping back into that meditation space. See if anything shifted. Alrighty, and then maybe we just take a look at our meditation posture. If we're sat upright, we can maybe just rock the pelvis front and back. Excuse me while I tip the camera down. We can just rock the pelvis. I'm kind of exaggerating, but just try a little bit of movement here. And then come up to the ribs and just try a little bit of the same. And then try those two together. So this movement here with this movement here. Don't worry too much about right or wrong. Just do what feels pleasurable in your body. And then this skull. We can think of three balls here. The pelvis, this thoracic rib cage, and then the skull. Can spend a little bit of time in this extended position. I can spend a little bit of time in this slumped flex position. And then I'm just, to come into the meditation position, I'm going to try and stack the ribs over the top of the pelvis and then the skull over the top of the ribs. Not in a forced way, but just... We call that the dignified upright posture, don't we? So we're not getting into a tussle with ourselves to find that position, but just meet yourself where you're at. What's the gentlest version of that? So that stacked position you can come up with right now. And on your next inhale, I just want you to have a sense of your ribs lifting up out of the waist. Ribs lifting out of the hips. Take an exhale, you feel the weight of your shoulders moving down. Take an inhale where your ears move up and away from your shoulders. And exhale where you feel some weight through the sternum here. So all of this is coming down. Inhale where you feel like there's a golden thread through the crown of the head, so that's lifting the skull up through the spine. And exhale, just feel everything hanging down. When we let the weight of the arms go, the shoulders come, and then we feel the shoulders pulling lovely through the neck, and it all kind of unwinds and releases all that tension. You get a lot of crackling and popping when you move your head and your neck. That's all tension in those little muscles on the back here and around the sides. Just have a sense of being tall or long through the front of the back body, I'm going to say. So if you imagine just in front of the spine, That's the front body, but it's right at the back. I have a sense of just that growing. And maintaining that length. On your exhale, we're just going to soften the front of the body. So the very front of the body. So on next exhale, let's soften the face. Let's soften around the eyes. Let's soften the cheeks and the jaw. On your next exhale, let's soften. Maintaining length through that back body, on the front of the back body. On the back of the front body, shall we prefer? And exhale, we soften chest. And exhale, where we soften belly. And exhale, where we soften genitals and groin. And an exhale, where we soften the pelvic floor, the perineum. The whole of the front body soft. Soften the hands. Allow your lower jaw just to hang like a hammock. Coming into silence. Coming into stillness. Finishing our meditation, just coming back to your sense of yourself sitting here or lying on the floor, just the sense of where you are in the room, the furniture and the four walls, the windows and the doors. Just get a sense of where you are in the day, maybe what time it is, where you are right now, and what your next tasks are for the day, perhaps. And how do we take our meditation space into those tasks when we move from this space to the next? Trying to move without creating ripples or disturbance too much. And if you've been sat for a wee while, just moving, the spine can feel nice. Or if you're lying on the floor, then maybe moving the hips or whatever you feel, coming back to yourself. Alrighty, thank you for showing up for yourself. I hope you enjoyed that. Take care, guys.